The first 3 pages are Introduction to VA Horror Segment 2. You will see documentation by number. Following, you will see the documentations that are mentioned by number in this introduction 3 pages. My service officer Dale Munger wrote a letter in reference to my claim folder being lost by the VA regional office in New York. I had a face-to-face conversation with the U.S. Attorney's Office of the United States Attorney's Office of the Northern District of New York. His name was James Wood, in reference to the VA telling me that my original claim file was sent to his office. You'll see his letter in writing. I had a witness with me, Derek Jones. You'll see his letter in writing. Board of Veterans Appeals, letter dated August 9th, 1996, in reference to the VA regional office in New York City committing an administrative error, causing my claim, my appeal, not to be docketed at the BVA. House Committee of Veterans Affairs, Chairman Lane Evans. Letter to the VA regional office in New York City in reference to my VA claim. Letter from the VA regional office in New York City dated September 9th, 1996, in reference to my original claim file being lost. Letter from Congressman Michael McNaughty, my former congressman, dated September 24th, 1996, to Philip Mayo, Chief, House Congressional Liaison Office in Washington, D.C. Letter dated August 30th, 1996, from the Department of Veterans Affairs Record Processing Center in St. Louis, Missouri, where I was stationed at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, in reference to my claim file being lost. Recent emails from the BVA Chief Dispatch Branch Office of Management, Planning, and Analysis, Joe Clarence, to Anna Lisa M. Evans, to Eric Hoey, the appeals team's coach of the VA Regional Office in New York City. You can read the content. Email from the VBA in Washington to the VBA in New York City, Joseph Calarafe, who was caught up and involved in the paper shredding and the inaccurate date receipt forging of the VA database in 2008. My original claim file has never been recovered or found until this very day, June 19, 2012. All of this took place after I submitted medical evidence to prove that I was diagnosed and service-connected for cardiac issues. This is the end of segment 2. Pretty good. Introduction to VA Horror, Segment 1. You see the following documents listed on the first 3 pages at the beginning of this segment. You'll see highlighted in my basic training report card. Soldier has met all requirements to pass from basic training. Soldier is well trained, highly motivated, physically fit individual, fully prepared to continue military training. April 13th, heart normal. May 4th, 1992, heart, cardiac issues, abnormalities. After being honorable discharged, I went to Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center in New York City. Diagnosis, 413.9 angina pectoris. 429.3 cardiomegaly, cardiac diseases. Albany Memorial Hospital in Albany, New York. Final diagnosis, hypertension with left ventricular hypertrophy. Sam Stratton VA Medical Center in Albany, New York. Diagnosis, a typical chest pain, which is angina pectoris. Cardiomegaly, hypertension. January 3rd, 2012 was the day that dated on my Board of Veterans Appeals remand order, where the Board of Veterans Appeals remanded my appeal back to the VA regional office in New York City. You will see that they changed the medical evidence, the medical records, which diagnosed me with angina pectoris, cardiomegaly, and left ventricular hypertrophy. They changed those diagnoses and called them in their decision as findings. This is a crime. Altering medical records. Altering federal documents. This is my letter contesting the fact that they changed those diagnoses to findings. Letter dated January 9th, 2012. Addressed to Jacqueline E. Monroe, Veterans Law Judge. It was also one addressed to Jessica Wills, Veteran Law Judge, to M. Matt, BVA Attorney, to S. Calcutt, BVA Attorney, Senate Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman Senator Patty Murray wrote a letter to Eric Shinzeki, Secretary of Veterans Affairs, in reference to errors being committed and practiced by VA regional officers, causing the backlog in VA claims. In that letter, you'll see on page 2, the first paragraph, it reads as, based on staff discussions with VA physicians, it appears that a medical provider cannot scientifically, with a high degree of certainty, attribute an overlapping symptom to one disability or another. If a provider cannot say with a level of certainty greater than 50% that a particular symptom is due to only one of the overlapping symptoms, it calls into question the practice of asking a medical profession to answer this question. These are the reasons why I've been fighting the VA to get properly rated for 20 years, and why there's a backlog of over 1.6 million claims unsettled.